Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see you here. I'm excited to get going this morning. And of course, I couldn't wait. I had to start before the actual clock start. Good morning. If you are ready to rock today, to truly start to unleash yourself in the six-figure coaching business, back all the way to seven figures, unhook yourself from the stories that will keep you stuck at that low level and dive deep into how do we create abundance in our lives, in our business, so that we can help the most people. If that is you, say, let's go in the chat. And I have a question as you're writing that. And I'm going to actually pull this out of the thing. There we go. So I have a question for you. Why are you wanting to create your coaching business? Why are you wanting to scale your coaching business? What's the end game? Like if we were sitting here a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, and you've created and accomplished everything that you dreamed of, tell me what kind of impact and what kind of legacy you will have left in this world. Like, who are you helping? How has their lives changed? Like, what's the impact? What have you changed in the world? What legacy is being left in the world now because your business is a wild success, that you have all the freedom that you want? You can be anywhere in the universe, creating massive transformation in people's lives, and your business has exceeded your expectation. Elizabeth says, I want to be able to help as many people as possible. Great, Elizabeth. Tell me, what's the transformation you're helping those people do? And VIP, I need to hear from you. Like, what is like the done thing? What is the thing that we're celebrating next year or 5 years from now where you've really hit it, right? You've really made that difference. You know, Barbara's saying women over 50 settle because they can create what they want for their life and their family and for generations to come. Jessica said, we will be talking about how like work-life balance happens, how I can show my kids what health is and passion for what we do looks like. I love it. My clients thrive because of our lives together. So I have a question. I just want you to write the word legacy. If you have a vision that in your family, in your environment, that you are going to be the example. You're going to be the example of what's possible. You're going to be the example of what can be created. You're going to be the example for your clients, for your family, for your children, for your friends, for your community, for your church, but that's part of what you're doing here. Yes, you want to make money. Yes, you'd like to have a career that is in this fast growing industry. But at the same time, if this is you, right, legacy, that there's this thing inside of you that is drawn to making a difference, is drawn to leaving a legacy. When people think back about who you are, that they say things like, they've changed my life, that I know it's possible, that there's a scripture that says, make a way just make a way, like you're making a way, you're clearing a path for people to walk down. Right legacy, if that is you, because that's what I want to dive into today. I want to get going right away because we've got a lot to talk about in our time together. But I want to talk about creating legacy. I want to talk about what's necessary, what's the price that you get to pay to create legacy. And I'm going to tell you something that most slick, sleazy online marketers are not going to tell you. You don't make money. You don't make money. You earn money. You earn it by integrity. You earn it by doing the things that help people. You earn it by serving. You earn it because you're taking a stand for people. So I just want to say, write the word stand. If you're like, you know what, the people that I help, if I don't take a stand for them, they're going to suffer. Like Barbara wrote, like they're going to suffer. Women in their 50 are going to suffer. Like what if I'm the only person that can help them? And I have to take a stand for them because they shouldn't be where they are. They shouldn't suffer. They shouldn't be in that place. And like all of you, you're taking a stand. See, I want you to see a couple things. Number one, you're destined for this business. This is your ministry, your mission, your calling, the thing that you get to change lives in. First of all, I want to say that. Second of all, I want to say, look at how your vibe attracts your tribe, because part of why you're in the room over the last 3 days is because me too, just like me. Like that, those are the things that I take a stand for too. I take a stand for you stepping into a coaching business, not a coaching hobby. I take a stand for you to, it is, I'm so wired up today. It is your responsibility, because of the gifts that you've been given, to not be poor, to not be in the wealth chasing mindset, to be in abundance and create wealth, right? Wealth, if that's what you're wanting, like, wealth is not just money, right? Wealth is creating joy and happiness and contentment and freedom, and having this environment where that you're creating a wealth that gets passed on generation to generation to generation to generation. That's what we're talking about today. I'm fired up for you because I do take a stand. I take a stand against really bad coaching. And if you're going to be a coach, if you're not certified through our certification, you are teaching broken models to your clients. I'm just going to say it straight, going to say it how it is, because this is the truth. There's only one way that your brain creates transformation. And here's the thing. I want you to take a stand to be the most gold standard excellent in the industry, so that you know that you can create transformation. I'd love to ask this question. How powerful, I want you to write the word powerful, this lands for you. How powerful will you feel knowing that you can change somebody's life? Not hoping, wishing, thinking, waiting until you're further down the line, but knowing the demand for right where you are right now can change things, can make a difference, right? Can create for people transformation. It's powerful, right? To have the confidence to know, not hope, not wish, not pray. I'm a praying girl, but I like, I always say, like, God doesn't answer prayers when you're sitting in the closet eating a Snickers bar, right? Like, please God, make my business grow. No, learn the right way to do it. Learn the right way to do it. Take a stand. And it's taking a stand in power. And we're going to talk about that today. Okay, I'm fired up today, if you can't tell. So let's get going. I want to talk again. We're just going to remind you over the last 3 days. So if you're joining us for the first time today, you're not late. You're just on time. The replays will go out after this. You'll get all 3 of them. So take a deep breath and just soak today in. If you've been here all 3 days, I want you to put 3 in the chat. If you've been here all 3 days, I would like for you to put 3 in the chat. Now, my VIPers are absolutely in the room, and they are saying 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. If you've been here for 2 days, I want you to write 2. I want you to write 2. If you've been here for 2 days, I want you to write 2. All right, so that I get an idea of, and if this is your first day, I want you to write 1. So that way I know, and we can support you. All right, so the last 2 days, are you ready? Buckle up. Here's what you've done in the last 2 days. See how when you have the right path, the right process, how much you can get done in literally 2 hours together. Crazy pants. All right. So we really unlocked the coach's 6-figure code. We talked about the thoughts, actions, and belief at each level of your coaching business to get you to that next level. And again, I'm just going to remind you, without that second guessing, who's ready to ditch that, without comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're falling up short, and without that feeling of, I don't know. You will know, because you have exactly how to take your time from dabbling to part-time to full-time to delegating time to releasing time. You're going to be able to think all the way to your identity is going to go from dabbling to side hustler to entrepreneur, right? And you'll be erasing fears like failure. No one will listen to me. What if they reject me? What if I succeed? What about, can I create this? And the path, these stack on each other. So we talked about stacking, and we're going to go deeper into the growth, lead, freedom, and legacy level. A lot of you wrote legacy. A lot of you wrote powerful, so that's where we're shooting today, right? We also unlocked the code by getting 10 new coaching clients each month. And we broke down making more coaching offers yesterday. We also talked about what your brain puts in the way of that, the thoughts that your brain puts in the way of that, and how to solve that. Things like imposter syndrome, yucky sales methods, and really being able to make full coaching offers often with full authority, full confidence that we talked about at the top of the hour, because you know you're transforming their lives. So I want to talk about getting to growth area. We did that yesterday by making more coaching offers, and we talked about the biggest mistakes. We also talked about coach launch formula, how you pick a platform, you go live, you serve, don't chase money. That's backwards. Remember yesterday we talked about the law of sowing and reaping. It's a biblical law. It's a universal law, the law of sowing and reaping. So I serve, I really dive into their pain and their desired future, and I serve them there. And then I just offer an opportunity to go deeper with a code word within their chat, whatever platform you're on. And then you get them on the phone and you help them get their yes. Now, who remembers? Is their yes a yes to you? What is their yes? What if somebody says yes to coaching? What are they saying yes to? What are they saying? I agree to get coaching. Yeah. What are they saying? What are they saying? Yes to themselves. Exactly. Yes to themselves. So, and remember, it's an intimate. They're saying yes to the transformation. They're saying yes to the results. They're saying yes to themselves, right? It's an intimate offer. Coaches launch differently. So from this point forward, please, if you do nothing else, just stop launching like a marketer, stop selling like a marketer, and start selling like a coach. And of course, we deep dive into that in the certification. So we talked about the challenges that get in the way, and we talk about that in the certification itself. So we also dove into the 3 tools in the neuro coaching model that create permanent brain-based transformation. This is the neuroscience of success. This is how do I create a brain-based transformation, not a surface level temporary shift that causes harm later. Because as we spoke about, it's pretty harmful when you think I should be able to do this and I'm doing everything my coach says, and I get off a call. I was motivated on the call, but isn't it interesting how the networks in my brain aren't your networks? There is no cookie cutter solution. There is how your brain wires. So we get to create brain-based transformation. We get to use the brain system to remove the blocks, not just willpower, not just try harder, not just think a better thought and it'll all go away. That is broken coaching, right? And then we get to learn how to build an automatic success pathway. You learn step dark. You guys have been, you've been busy over the last 2 hours of time together. And then today we're really diving into the rest of the 6-figure code. So you've talked about growth, and the big thing here is getting people to know you, right? And we talked about OPA yesterday. Now, today I want to talk about like what's happening to get you to 7 figures. Now, everything that we talked about prior needs to happen. The niche, the micro niching, the thinking around, what is your brain serving you, those thoughts, and removing them. Now, here when we get to this place, and this is what we were talking about at the top of the hour, we're delegating time. Now, we need things like a sales system, but we're having an entirely different conversation. Our questions have turned from, can I do this, to how does the team generate growth? And if you're like, I don't even have a VA yet, Shannon, why are you talking about teams? Because who is it? Ernest Hemingway. I've been listening to him lately. It's like, how can you know where to go if you don't have a target? How can you know what to expect, where to go? It's like you're getting in your car and just turning off the GPS and saying, I want 7 figures, and like hope the Tesla takes you there, right? That's not the hope and wish sales process, is not what we want. We want the actual path. So here we're talking about, how does the team generate growth? How would that feel? Tell me in the chat, to have other people generating revenue for you, and therefore what you're doing is doing what you are best at, which is serving people all day long. How would that feel if someone else, your team, was generating the revenue? They were doing the sales, they were converting, and you were the one just delivering the transformation. I'm just curious how. So Barbara's like, that'd be amazing. That'd be incredible. That would be awesome, right? That'd be amazing. In fact, I think that's one of our biggest dreams. So isn't it great to know that one of your biggest dreams aligns with where you will be when you get your business to 7 figures if you follow a clear and concise path to transformation? Very cool and satisfying. I love that. Heather says, allowing me to shine and not have a brake pedal holding me back. Yes, yes. So as you can see, the thinking here is I can lead my team to scale. So I'm now coaching my team, and my team is creating the sales. I'm still acquiring knowledge at this stage. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that in stage 1, we're acquiring knowledge? We're acquiring knowledge here, but we're acquiring more knowledge around teamwork and leadership and legacy, different level of acquiring knowledge. The belief at this stage is it's gone from I will to we will. Pretty powerful to take people. This is one of the things I love about my team. I started with one VA and then I added a second, right? And we were just talking about this in the certification call just a minute ago, how it's a better problem to have, to say, how am I going to make payroll? Because that means we're really leading our team to scaling. And we get to walk alongside other human beings that have the same vision with you. How amazing would that be to have team members linking arms with you saying, I believe in this vision for your people so much so that I'm actually going to sell it for you? How incredible would that be? So we've gone from I will to we will. Our identity at this stage is I'm a leader. Now at this stage, there's things we're still working on. I'm letting go of control. I'm releasing control. Where's my right control? If you're like a high controller, you like to control everything. Where are my analyzers at? Right analyzer. Like, I like to control. I like to have my hands on everything. So at this stage, I'm having to like let go a little bit so that other people can fly. Yeah. So to up level at this stage, we're doing things like clear systems and processes so that the team can easily scale. Tell me right now, what's the aha for you in this? What are some of the things here in the 7-figure freedom stage that you're already doing? What are some of the things that are exciting? What are some of the things you're like, I was already thinking about that? Like, I like being a leader. I love working with people. Yeah, I like to control things. Okay, we'll get to work on that one. But wow, I love systems. A lot of analyzers love their systems. So, that's a strength. That's really cool. So Barbara says leading and working with people, right? So acquiring knowledge, right? And like, I love it. Learning to let it go. I always hear Frozen because I have a daughter. I always hear Frozen when that happens, right? So controller and analyzer. Okay, so why am I showing this to you? Because when I asked you yesterday, most of you said that you were heading to 6 or 7 figures. Now, my guess is for you, those of you who say 6, you're an analyzer. So you're saying, well, when I get to 6, then I'll shoot for 7, right? So you're like, show me the money. I'm going to get to 6, prove that I can, and then get to 7. That is an analyzer thinking process, and that's beautiful. But ultimately, we're like headed toward that place, because here's the thing. This means you're helping more people. What we talked about at the top of the hour, life-changing, changing the lives of people's, leaving legacy. If we're at this 7-figure mark, we're helping a lot more people. So I want you to hear that. If you've had the scarcity that making money is bad, that I shouldn't want, is anybody on the call that's having this weird conversation around, I just want to be okay. I just want to have enough, but 7 figures feels like kind of braggadocious. It feels like I don't need all that. It feels like that's the Lambros that are, throwing the money like this on their yachts and our jets and all that stuff. So if that is your feeling, I want to shift what your brain is serving you. So your brain is serving you something that will constrict your ability to help people. Your brain is saying it's not safe to make money because money is the root of all evil, because that makes me a bad person. Watch what your brain serves you when I'm talking about this stage and the next stage. It's giving you a clue of where you possibly can get constricted from helping people. because the more I help, remember the law of sowing and reaping, the more I help people, the more that will be reaped. It's just part of the process. You can't go and reap without sowing, and you can't sow and not have a crop. That's how it works. So who just had an aha on, put a money sign. If that was an aha for you, if you're like, oh my gosh, I see how I'm judging this in some way, shape, or form, just put a little money sign. And by the way, I was judging this at one point. At one point, I was driving around neighborhoods saying I wanted to get to 7 figures, but I had this thought of, and it wasn't my thought, by the way, it was my family of origins thought of, well, people that make this much money do it on the backs of good people. You might have heard me tell that story before, where I couldn't hit that glass ceiling, couldn't get past that glass ceiling, right? And I was fine driving around the neighborhoods, but I actually made an appointment with a realtor to go in and look at a house that I would buy when my business got to 7 figures. And I walked in and I heard it, on the backs of good people. Yeah, Jessica, money feels so complex, right? I'm going to propose to you a different story you can give your brain. And that is, the more I serve, the more I make. That I'm not looking to make money or looking to earn money. I am looking to serve. The more I serve, the more I make. The law of sowing and reaping is a universal principle. So I don't need to focus on complicated money and sales. Simple scales, complex fails. So what do I get to focus on? The thing we were put on the earth to do, which is to serve. I hope somebody just had an opening there. Let's feed our brain a conversation that says, the more I serve, the more I make. That it's simple to make money, that it's simple to earn money. So, and look at the different level of legacy that happens, because now it's not just me, it's my team and I walking together, walking through this together. Super powerful. It's called multiplication. It's called multiplication. Who here wants to multiply their vision? Write vision. And if you want to keep your vision small, write small vision. But if you want to multiply your vision, write vision in the chat. I see it. Vision, vision, vision. So see how our intuition 10x vision. I love that. See how internally we already have the answer, but our brain is serving us thoughts that are going to constrict it. Oh, this is complicated. I must have to get real fancy sales systems. Y'all, please hear me. I had every thought that you've had. So understand, this got developed out of need, not out of thought, right? And as I've broken through these barriers, the thought had to get up leveled. What I allowed my brain, the soil of my mind, what I've allowed in the soil of my mind, I've allowed what only aligns with the vision for multiplication. With the vision for multiplication, because think about it. I am just one person. That's how the certification came about, by the way, is I was one person that had this model that was allowed me to go from low 6 figures to now 3 businesses, multi 7-figure businesses, and a charity. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to show you what is possible when you release these stories, when you use STEBDAR, when you use Mind Matrix, when you use brain priming. And by one-on-one clients that I had at the time, I asked them, I offered, hey, this is working for me and I'm not a special unicorn. So do you want me to add this to our business coaching? And boom, I have one client tell me if you would love this, that we started doing the neuro coach model with him, and his business went from 6 to 8 figures in 2 weeks. 6 to 8 figures in 2 weeks. What? That's crazy pants. And it wasn't a strategy. He was doing all the same things. He just had his brain allow the success, and he stopped letting his brain deliver thoughts, and he used the matrix to remove them that were literally constricting his impact and his vision. And so when you get to the 7-figure level, you're really multiplying your vision. Now you have team members arm in arm walking through, and they're selling. In fact, they're selling better than you. Do you know right now? My top salesperson, Barbara, surpassed my close ratio. Meaning it used to be like, I can only close, like, when you're selling for yourself, you're your best salesperson, right? Because you're telling the benefit, like everything. It's yours. It's your baby. It's your baby. But Barbara surpassed my close ratio. That's what you want. Tell me if I want that. If you want somebody that's just as passionate, walking step in step with you and better than you. I say yes and amen to that all day long. Yes and amen. And I get to invest in her and help her just be the very best that she is meant to be in the world. And look at all that. I want that. 2 weeks. Yep, 2 weeks. All right. So ready to stretch your mind? Say I'm ready to stretch in the chat. Not like this kind of stretch, but like this kind of stretch. Say that I'm ready to stretch, Shannon, in the chat. Told you this is Entrepreneur Church. You got to talk to me. I'm ready to get stretchy. Okay, good. Because we're going to talk about legacy, which we talked about at the top of the hour, but I'm going to talk to you about what gets to get created when we've taken one business to 8 figures and sold. So I want to talk to you about this. Wearing stretchy pants. I love it. So I want you to see what's possible. And I want you to see what gets created. And I want you to see how your vision that you're sitting with right now can go to the generation, the next generation, to the next generation. Meaning your grandchildren's grandchildren are going to be talking about this thing that you've done. Not because you're the most amazing thing on the planet, but because you were brave enough to harness the power of your mind, to get in and literally become the creator of your thoughts, which changed your family direction forever. That to me is pretty darn exciting, right? And then you get to do it for your clients. And so that's how this certification came about. I was just one person. I mean, to finish that story. And I'm thinking and I brought it online and I was doing it, but it was just me. And I'm like, wait a minute. Coaches need this. Like, I'm one person. I'm just a drop in the ocean. But what if the best coaches in the world learn how to do this? Guys, this is how we change. I'm not going to get a little grandiose. This is how we change the world. Imagine if the world had people certified as neuro coaches and master neuro coaches going in. Like, imagine an army of coaches going into 2020. We'd be in a different place right now. The world needs you to have these skills, to understand how to unleash them, to get to the next level, right? To get to the next level. So here it is. So here's what happens to time when you get to legacy. Time releases. You start working on legacy projects. You start working on charities, on supporting other businesses. One of my legacy goals when that time releases in this business is two things. I'm going to start an investment fund where people can invest small levels. Like, not everybody can do 100K, 200K, 300K into real estate, but all of you could probably do, $500, $1,000, $2,000. So I want to create a co-op investing so that entrepreneurs can start to fund residual income in their businesses. So these are the things you get to start to think about. I want to actually be an angel investor into entrepreneurs' businesses. Like, how amazing would it be when you just started to say, hey, this is my vision. Can you fund me for the first year? And so you could just go all in. How amazing would that be? So these are the things I'm starting to think about at the legacy level. Now, the big need here is we're scaling teams and systems, right? Now, I am in the conversation. My team can scale this, not we, my team. Like, I am removed. I'm still serving, but I'm removed from scaling. My team scales it. I'm mentoring the team and I'm serving my people. And at this stage, we've gone from we will to we must. We must. Like, the world needs this to happen. And you almost get to the place where, not on my watch am I going to allow anybody to suffer. We must do this. The identity here is fully an entrepreneur. And really, at this stage, I'm just helping the team do what I do well. In fact, you will see, like, I've got certified master neuro coaches that coach in the certification. So it's that helping them become the best coach they can be, helping my team become the best coach they can be. Here's what I want you to know. Is there anything that I have said here that is complex and hard? The words you've never heard before? The answer is no. You've been mentoring people, whether you're a parent or somebody at a church, or like you've been doing those things all your life. It's just getting these phases, each level taken care of. And if you notice, the biggest thing that needs to get erased at each level is the thought that might keep you there, right? Is the thought that you might. So if at the 7-figure level, I don't release control, then at the 8-figure level, I am not able to have the team scale it. Does that make sense? So at the first starting place, if I don't get over the fact that I actually am in demand, which is where we started, I must have the belief that I am in demand, then it's going to be hard to get past 12K, right? So we want to stack these, layer these. So my big question to you is, what do you think gets in the way of that growth? What do you think gets in the way? Tell me in the chat. Tell me if you think, put a money sign if you think money gets in the way, put a T if you think time gets in the way, and put a K if you think it's just knowledge, just knowing the right thing to do. It's knowledge that gets in the way. Okay. So I'm curious, like what do you think gets in the way? We will, we must. I love that. Yeah. So I'm hearing time, I'm hearing money, I'm hearing knowledge. What else? Knowledge. The biggest thing that might keep you the prior level is the thought that doesn't get erased. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. So you guys are getting it. All right. So now here's something you may or may not have heard. It's your box. Write down, it's my box. What? It's my box. So I want you to picture this as a box that you're in. You cannot laugh at my drawings. You got to promise me you cannot laugh at my drawings. But this is the box. That's you. You're so cute. That's you in the box. Okay. That's you in the box. And your box is what your brain is currently serving you. Your box is your past experiences. Your box is what you already know. It's what you already know. It's what you've already done. It's the money in your bank account. What you're seeing currently in your box is what your thoughts were in the past. Your thoughts created what you have currently. Now, I have a question for you. Is the place that you're going, whether it's 6 figures or 7 figures in your coaching business, is that in your box? Have you been there before? Do you have experience with that? Is 6 figures in your knowing? Is it in your past? Is it in your current? Is it in the things that your brain is serving you? No, it is out here because you've never been there before. And guess what happens when you've never been somewhere before? Your brain tries to keep you in the box. This is safe. This is familiar. This is resistance. So what does that mean? I call it PIPs. PIPs for short. Some of the things that really get in your way that are inside the box based on your past in this cute, sweet little drawing of you: procrastination, scarcity, perfectionism. I got to be perfect for people to buy from me. It's got to be perfect. Put perfect if that's the thought you've had. I'm an imposter. Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to buy from me? I've got to have 20 years of experience before I sell. Procrastination. Okay, here's a form of high performance procrastination. I'm going to do a to-do list that has nothing to do with getting to my business. And it's just extraneous things, and I get them all done and I feel really busy, but I'm procrastinating on going live. I'm procrastinating on making more offers. I'm procrastinating on making an offer to somebody, getting on a phone call. Procrastination, right? And then scarcity. That if you have it, I don't. That if you have it, I don't. That it's hard to get, that it's complicated, right? So what gets in your way is your box. I've had the PIPs. Yeah. So this is forever going to be known as an entrepreneur is I have the PIPs. I have the PIPs. And there is an antidote. There is a cure, and it's in the neurocoach model. It's in the neuro. Okay. So for those of you who wrote, I have so many lists. By the way, this you're working in somebody's mind is going to be blown. I'm going to just throw a little science your way. Okay. So this is all neurochemical, by the way. This is not the kind of person you are. This is not identity. This is neurochemical reactions. So think about when you're fight or flight. If you get in a fight with somebody, say your spouse or best friend, my fighters My fighters are going to be perfectionists. They're the ones that are going all in. They're like in it, and they're in it, and they're in it, and they're in it, and they're in it, right? Those that are, where are my, those that like they move, like they're like, I'm out. They're like, I don't want anything to do with this. I go in a different room. I'm like, tap out. I'll see you later. I'm going to drive away. Yeah, those are procrastinators, right? And most of us high performers, we tend to be like a little combination of both. And that's why we get the pips. This is how your brain, I want you to hear this. This is the neurochemicals your brain gives you to stay safe and familiar. That's its job. Here's what we want to make safe and familiar: 6 and 7 figures. And that's what we do in the neurocoach model. We make what we want, our vision, our legacy, safe and familiar, and we neutralize and erase the pips. We move the pips. We get rid of the case of the pips. Now, obviously, pips are belief, right? We talked about through STEBDAR yesterday, and it's all rooted in these subconscious stories or patterns. That's a lot of detail, but here's the thing. It's simple to move the needle permanently. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. We want to make what's inside our box what we actually want. And we want to remove, like the weeds in the garden, like the nightshade plants. We want to pull out what does not align with our future state that we want. This is the art of transformation. This is the science of results. The brain is the operating system to it all. And you can see how if I can throw a $10 million strategy at you, but if you have the pips, that strategy will not work. So stop chasing strategies and start chasing the thing that operates them all. So to get to 7 figures, we got to flip that success switch from scarcity to abundance. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday, like how the thoughts that we think, do they align with that God-based law, that universal law that says I sow and therefore I reap? Not I need to reap, I need to reap, I need to reap. Most people chase it backwards. They want money. So they're chasing money. They're thinking about money. And then they're wondering why they don't have money and they don't have sales and they're not serving. They're saying, I'll serve as soon as I get some sales. That's unfortunately why our brains are hardwired for that scarcity. We get to flip that. That's inside your box as well. So how do you build abundance and ditch scarcity? You harness that most powerful tool. First of all, you're going to identify those beliefs. So I'm going to do a little exercise with you really quickly. Okay. I want you to tell me, for those of you who have actually offered your coaching services, if you've never offered your coaching services before, you can do this in an imaginary state. But for those who have done it or you've tried to do it, I want you to think about whether it's on the phone call or on a webinar, whatever, when you go to offer somebody to buy your coaching, meaning you're selling your coaching. I want to hear some of the thoughts your brain serves you when you go to make the offer, when you go to pitch, when you go to say, will you buy? I want you to write in the chat, what are some of the things that your brain gives you, some of the thoughts that your brain gives you that fire when you are saying, will you buy my coaching? Here's my coaching. Will you buy? Or imagine it. Like if you think about it, like you get butterflies in your stomach. What are some of the thoughts that come up? So I want you, we call this, and by the way, I did a podcast about this last week or next week. Actually, it'll come out next week, called the anti-pitch. But this anti-pitch is there's an undercurrent. So like anybody who's been by the beach, you've seen like rip currents or rip tides. It's like a river in the ocean, right? And if you get in it, it's like you try to swim to get to shore and you literally can't get there. Why? Because it's a river going the opposite direction. So you're trying to swim against the current and the current always wins. It just takes you out to sea, right? So it takes you out to sea. It's this current. It's this flow that's taking you away from what you want. So this is what's happening. This is where scarcity is showing up when you're going to make the offer. So I want you to think about, like, you have words you're saying to the client, to the potential client. You're saying, okay, it's this, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this. You're saying words, but this riptide, this rip current underneath are the thoughts that your brain is serving you. And that's what your client or your future client is receiving. That's why they're not hearing. That's why you're not hearing yes. That's why you're hearing maybes. I got to talk to somebody. So here's what it looks like. I'm just going to use what you wrote so far. Okay. So imagine I'm like selling something, anything. And I'm like, okay, so this is my program. You might think it's too much. I mean, who do I think I am for charging this? Like, I'm really scared about following this up. Like, I don't want to be rejected. So, like, you can buy it or not buy it. I just don't want to be rejected. I know you might not have the money. And I know you're probably thinking that my rates are too high, and you're probably wondering if I'm worth it or not. Like, can I really get this result? Let's see. What else did you say? I don't want to go there. I end up doing more free coach. Oh yeah, I should probably just do this for free because I'm scared that you may or may not get the results. Okay, how well do you think that offer is gonna go? Tell me in the chat. Say, like, give me the emoji that is aligned with how that one's gonna go. Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat, because this is what I call the anti-pitch that is running behind the scenes of your pitching. And you're wondering, why is this not working? Why are people not buying? I love the clown emojis that are coming in. Like, it's not going to go so well. It's not going to go so hot because the anti-pitch is going on. So this is what I want you to see, how I can have all the right strategies. And I've shared that with you. I took 50,000 out of my savings way back when I was hitting that glass ceiling. And I found out I had every single strategy, tactic, and everything, the doing that she did. And she had multiple 8-figure businesses at the time, but she thought differently. So she didn't have an undercurrent. And I had a very wide one that was like pulling me back, right? The poop emojis and everything. Okay. So my kids will laugh at me because I said that online. All right. So you got to harness this tool. You got to identify those faulty scarcity beliefs. We got to get after removing them, pulling those weeds through the mind matrix, right? We got to build a pathway to abundance. I'm sorry, I'm going to say something that's probably going to make a few of you mad. Abundance, law of attraction, that is trying to use a tool without its power. And that's why so many people, they'll buy it, but it's like, it kind of falls flat. It's because it's not tapping into the actual power that's charging it. The power that God's given sowing and reaping, right? We've been taught to think on what is true, pure, and lovely, to think on the vision. We actually have to build a pathway that allows abundance. Otherwise, we're on default and we have a switch flipped on that says money is complicated. Money is hard to make. Money is scary. I'm scared of losing it. I'm scared of keeping it. All of the conversation around what it means, right? But when we build a pathway to abundance, we align with the fact that we sow, we reap. So we're just serving. We remove those weeds that you just put in the chat of what you're thinking before you're selling your product or service. Then your brain has all the direction it needs to literally attract, literally 90% of the time, this vision. Your vision to change the world, your vision to create legacy, your vision to pass on from a generation to generation to generation to generation. Your brain will be wired to do so. And here's the great thing. When you do that, your clients, now you can really identify their faulty beliefs, help them remove them through the matrix, help them build a pathway to where they want to go. And voila, massive transformation for your clients. And tell me what massive transformation every time for your clients does to your revenue. Tell me what it does to your revenue. If you have raving fans getting massive transformation, what happens to your revenue? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. I want this to land for you, because when you harness this tool, these are tools, right? These are tools. Yeah, your money multiplies, your revenue multiplies. It has to. It's that law of reciprocity. It's that law of sowing and reaping prosperity, right? Drives it up, increases it in a good way. I love these adjectives. I love the way you guys are thinking now. It goes up. It's transformational releases revenue. Yeah. So isn't that beautiful? Because every one of you said you have a life calling to transform people's lives. And if you have a life calling to transform people's lives and you get the tool that does that and you do it for yourself, of course, and then help your clients with it, then their lives transform. The law of reciprocity and the law of abundance just kicks in. And your revenue, as you said, it drives up, increases in a good way. I love the way you said that, Catherine. So here's the thing I need you to know. Your clients, they have a box too. Your clients have a box too. So the key is going to be flipping that success switch for them, helping them ditch the box of familiar, safe, and not successful where they want to be. And certified coaches help ditch those pips that we talked about for yourself, for your clients. And it really builds a success network to remove that broken one, right? We're going to pull those weeds. And here's a question I need to ask. If you're coaching and you don't do this, what happens? If you don't help them build a pathway, if you don't help them remove these blocks that are driving their operating system, 90% of their decisions, actions, and results, what happens if you don't do that? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. And I'm just going to kind of talk while you're putting it in there. It'll be hard to sell your coaching. Your clients won't get transformation, and you'll continue to struggle with your worth, your confidence, your authority. And I'm just going to be real. Like, less people will be attracted and the business stalls out. And it breaks my heart when I see this happen, because the only thing in the way is having the tools to transform yourself and then transform your clients, right? All right. So I have a question. We're going to wrap on this, not totally wrap. We're going to talk a little bit more about the certification, answer your questions, do Q&A, but what will your brain give you when you've automated your vision? Like 90% of everything that you're deciding, all the actions you're taking, and all the results that you're getting are completely aligned with your vision, and it's automated. And those breaks are ditched and your success is inevitable. What kind of things will your brain be telling you then? What kind of things will your brain be telling you then? I'll have power. I'll have superpowers, subconscious superpowers. Yeah. Here's what I think. You hear the statement, success will be inevitable. Success is inevitable. Like, this is where it gets really exciting, because if you're a person that doesn't want to help people, just get off the call. Like, I'm going to be legit. You are not right in this community. You will be eaten alive. Like, we are people that are changing people's lives. But if the idea that, like, what a gift you get to give your clients when you have the confidence to have the tools to know that you transform their lives. I mean, it's just a game changer. It's just a game changer because it's a gift. You're not just coaching. You're like legit giving a gift that allows your success to be inevitable, your client's success to be inevitable. Why? Because you're training at a brain-based level. And that's why I offer the coaching certification. We talked about it yesterday. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the certification. I would love for you, if you've been here for 3 days and you're thinking about getting certified, I'm just going to challenge you to just go book the call and have the conversation, because everything that you've told me is that you have a vision, that there's things that you want to do in this world. There's generations you want to change. There's legacy you want to live. Yes. And all that is amazing, but you also want to start to see freedom in your life right now. You want to be a part of something bigger than you, something that just really can change, yes, the world, but how about your world, right? How about the world that in 6 months can look drastically different? And that's not just for you, right? It's going to impact everybody in your environment. It's going to impact your kids, your family, your friends, your church, the people around you, the way you show up, the confidence that you're able to show up in, and the certainty that you will have, which allows for your business to just thrive. And so I'm going to dive into just a little bit more. We talked about this yesterday. The 2 main goals of the certification: getting you to grow your coaching business fast and to coach the right way, to get the confidence and create those raving fans. And if you were here yesterday, you saw all this. I'll talk through it really, really quick. The certification itself is at $36,000 value, but you also, we got to edit this. That was an old program. You get access to our 67-day year coaching program, because transform people. You also get access to our coach launch formula. Again, coaches launch differently. So it's a formula, very simple formula that got me past $1 million online with one formula. So you get that right away. That's $7,500 value. And then you get access to what we call coaching business in a box, all the strategies, tactics that you will ever need to get to 6, 7, and then 8 figures. You get the application call, the practice call, the practicum, the exams, all the models, all the worksheets, all the manuals, all the exercises, and lifetime access to the certification as long as you're in good standing. But here's the most important thing. All that stuff is amazing, right? Here's the most important thing. You leave 6 months from now monetized in your coaching business, making massive impact, coaching in a way that creates massive transformation. And that really amplifies the law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping. And you really get to see, feel, taste, and become that vision you already see inside your head. Because here's what I know about you. You know this potential is within you, and you've been searching and thinking about how do I get that confidence and that competence and show up in a way where I can really, really serve? And this is the answer to that. This is the certification. You go to beacertifiedcoach.com. I know Barbara can let me know, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple seats left. We limit the seats because we want it intimate. But I know there's a couple seats left. So we will be closing the doors to be able to get to this round of the certification here in the next little bit. So you do not want to miss out. And it is first come, first serve. So if you're like on the fence thinking about it, or you're like, heck yes, I'm in, book it. Heck yes, I'm in, go to beacertifiedcoach.com and book it. Now I want you to watch this. Those are my fast starts. Those are my people. This is a moment that you need to know for your coaching business. So for me, I'm a fast start. So if this is where I was and I needed this tool and this methodology, and I needed confidence, and I needed competence, and I needed the ability to create raving fans and actually sell my coaching business out. If that was me, I'd be like, okay, stop talking and give me the link. That's me. I'm a fast start. I'm like, oh, come on, give me the link. But here's what I need you to hear. I'm the weirdo. Okay. I am the weirdo. So I am the 0.5%, 1%, 2% of people who are fast starts. Now, everyone else, I just write the word processing. If you're like, man, I've spent 3 days. I really see how this can be incredible, but I'm processing. I'm like, can I make the investment? Do I have the time? Will it work for me? Will it happen is this the right thing? If you're processing, I would love for you to write the word processing. Just write the word processing. I'm processing. Thank you, Heather. Good to see you. So if you're processing, and there it goes, processing, you're part of the 90 some odd percent who are in process. So know this as a coach. This is what I see by so many coaches. They'll be like, here's my offer. And they're like, oh, nobody bought, bye. Right? I'm like, 90% of people, we're still in the conversation of a decision, right? We're in a conversation of the decision. That's actually your job, to be processing, right? To be processing with them. And that's what the call is for. So when you go to beacertifiedcoach.com, I believe it's just Barbara this time. She will help you process, answer the questions about, time and investment and all of those things, so that you come out the other side. And here's the thing, with a good decision, because entrepreneurs that get to 6 and 7 figures, they're deciders, right? So if you're a fast start, you probably already decided, you already have a call booked. So go to beacertifiedcoach.com, get on that calendar. If you're processing, like Lisa is processing, right? We've got a few of you are saying you're processing. Those of you who are processing, I want you to book a call too, because that's part of what a good coach will do, is help you process. Now, does this make sense right now? And my people who take the calls, they've all been certified. So they're going to tell you, this is a good thing. This is not the right time. We've turned people away. We're thinking about what's best for you because there's limited seats. but we want to help you process that. Because listen, if it's an investment that you've not made in yourself before, investing in how to create, how to unhook from those stories that your brain serves you, like I would say alone, like if you did nothing else with it but that would be worth it. Because like think about if you wait and you try to grow with all of those thoughts that are running 90% of it, how slow and feeling like quicksand and going backwards is it going to feel? Because you can't outperform your subconscious. You actually got to wire it. And so as you're processing this, I talk about the fact that we offer financing. I know because I've been in your shoes, like, hey, I want to take a flyer. I want to say yes to me. I want to say yes to me. I want to get certified. I want to have this confidence. Help me with a payment plan. I can't do it all at once. Great. I know I've been there. So that's why we offer that, right? So we help you there. So I'm always thinking about how can we help you get to your best yes, so that 6 months from now, you're saying I would pay 10 times that certification for what I was able to create, the clients I was able to create, the processes I was able to create. But number one, I'm transformed and my clients have a process to transform. All right. So that's what's in it. So go to beacertifiedcoach.com. And let me tell you, the last 3 days have been amazing. Like you have played full out. And if you've gone all in, you've learned things. And if you've applied them, you are thinking in a way that is light years ahead of where you were when you came in here a couple days ago. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you are starting to see, like, I actually can build this business. Heather, I'm so excited you're in the certification. Yes. I'm proud of you because it takes guts to say, you know what, I have a vision and I'm going to take action on that vision, even while my brain is freaking out. Because remember, our brain wants to keep us safe and familiar in the box. And you're saying, thank you, brain. I appreciate you, brain, because you're trying to keep me safe. But actually, this is safe. And I need to be in a room where people are going to catch me sowing seeds that aren't going to let me get there, right? And they're going to encourage me to build that pathway to where I want to go and be your cheerleader. Some of the greatest collaborations, partnerships, summits, all those things are from the room of neuro coaches. It's unlike anything else. People getting to 6 and 7 figures and paying it backwards and paying it forwards. It's just so beautiful. And you need to be in that room because let's just be real. I don't know about you, but in my environment, in my daily life, I'm not surrounded by a whole lot of people that are saying, you can do it, go bigger, you can do this, help more people. Most people are going, what are you doing? Like, you think you can make a go of that? Like, really? People pay you for that? Right. So you're sitting at the soccer games and they're saying, now, who do you work for again? Like, I'm confused, right? And so we're these weirdos in our world thinking that we can actually change the world and make a difference and change people's lives. And in our room, that's what we do. And so I'm excited, Heather, that you're in. I'm excited for those of you who are joining the certification this round. Do yourself a favor, go to beacertifiedcoach.com, have the conversation, and we will be celebrating together 6 months from now as you step into the version of you that is changing people's lives. All right. Thank you for spending the last 3 days with me. I love you. I am for you. And I cannot wait to see you inside the certification. All right. Bye for now.